Just excited to be home. 2 games on the road last week. It's always good to be at home, and excited for our fan base tomorrow night. And we definitely need our fans to come out and support us as we continue, our home schedule throughout SEC play.
And you kind of touched on it right then, Coach, about getting the fans to come out. Can you kind of describe the importance of a game like this, especially when you get to have one SEC matchup, rank versus rank in your own arena? Just describe the importance of that.
Well, I think they're all important. I think that we all talk about, ranked versus ranked. I mean, guys, this next game, and the next game is all that really matters. And at the end of the day, though, too, I think our fan base needs to understand the value of, we've been on the road last week to 2 incredible home court environments where we walk in and, you're already 10 down. And I think it really does help when your fan base is energized, and our team certainly feeds off that. They've done a really good job this season of coming out and supporting us. And as we head into Thursday night, and then I think the next home game is Sunday the 26th against Vandy at 1. Tomorrow night we're having the incredible honor of recognizing Tim Johnson's family, who was an integral part of our support staff that did an amazing job with tickets. Is from my home state, and a true, he loved basketball and women's basketball so much. So the opportunity to recognize his family, is really incredibly special to our team. We've honored him on our shooting shirts all year, and so we're excited to have his family in town. And Tim is forever a part of what we're doing in our journey at Alabama as we continue to build this program. And then, just an opportunity to compete tomorrow night. We have to come out with a tremendous effort, a near perfect effort, and we're excited for the opportunity.
All right, we'll go back here to Theo.
Coach Staley is someone who's talked about you in press conferences as someone that she has praised with the work you've done building up this program. How essential is that mutual respect that exists between coaches, especially in the SEC, as the SEC continues to grow and grow in women's basketball?
Well, in the SEC, night in and night out, the opportunity to compete against the best coaches in the country, but also what I consider the best coaches in the country that truly care about growing our game. And there's no question that Dawn truly cares about women's basketball. She cares about our league. She cares about everything that's, good in our sport. And I just have so much admiration for how she has built South Carolina, the support that community and university has given her. And, we all want our programs to rise to that level. The way she's done it with hard work and grit and toughness, I have a lot of respect for that. So there's so many great coaches in our league, and I think we truly all want our programs to be at the highest level. And Dawn has always supported the building process here and how we've gone about what we've done. So I will always appreciate that.
So kind of getting into this matchup, what is the biggest challenge that you think South Carolina is going to present you guys? And just kind of describe how can you withstand a early run like you were able to against Ole Miss?
Well, we definitely have 2 learning experiences from last week. One, on a home floor of a top 5 team that's legitimately a top 5 team that we didn't respond very well. And then against another top 25 team, I think they were ranked the week before, that's incredibly talented, that's played one of the toughest schedules in the country, and we responded better. When you ask me what's the biggest, first of all, there's more than one big challenge. There's a reason why they're number 2 in the country and probably as good as, if not number 1. I know it's just amazing, the depth and the numbers and the size and, the way that they play. They're going to really paint points and second chance opportunities. Their transition game, it's elite. They're top 5 defense in the country. They're top 5 in every category. And it's not necessarily their first group. It's their second group. It's their first group. They've had an injury. We've had an injury. Injuries are part of the game. You just have to rise up and accept the challenge and overcome it. So, us talking about, the adversity we face, yes, it's different. We've got 4 kids on the sideline that's really hurt. But at the end of the day, we all have an opportunity to compete, and we're going to have to learn how to compete in life every day when we leave Alabama. So we've got to compete this week. We've got to compete at home. We've got to take it back on the road to Arkansas, and our goal is always to be 2-0 at the end of the week.
Last one with the other guy.
You always, every year, you have to say goodbye to a couple of seniors, but Sarah Ashley Barker, I'd have to imagine, is a player that, I've heard how strong the relationship between you and her is. Now that here we are, we're in January, and, the season will be over before anyone even knows it, does it start to set in that, okay, like, here's the last couple months that I have with, these players in this group?
Well, I think it's not something I don't really want to think about that right now, but I think from the moment that Sarah Ashley and Aaliyah committed to come back to Alabama because they loved the front of their chest more than the back, I can't tell you how much I want to do everything that I can possibly do to make this really, really special for them. So it's not just them. It's Zay Green making the commitment to come to Alabama. It's Gianna Cunningham. It's Kristy Zuma, who could have gone a lot of places. So our 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, those that have been a part and had so many experiences, what they've done for this program and how they've elevated it this season, regardless of what the future holds. They're an incredibly special group, and we have a couple other seniors that we know will be back. We're going to celebrate Senior Day in a big way, but we've got unfinished business, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that we send this group out in a really special way.
We're going to finish with Jay.
You'll be playing against a pretty solid South Carolina team. How important is it to use the starters and your bench in an effective way?
Well, I think that brings up a great point today, Jade. I'll be really bluntly honest. I felt like that, Diana Collins was a big difference maker for us in the second half of Ole Miss. I thought Gianna Cunningham played extremely well at Ole Miss. We've got to have more of a committee. It's got to be something as we continue to move forward without SA that we've got to have more. We can't expect Zay and Aaliyah to do what they did. We can, and we hope they do, but we've got to be able to also provide some assistance in some other spots. I thought Essence had a phenomenal second half. So just so many people have to step up by committee, and I don't think there's any secret that our bench has to perform better, has to impact the stat sheet. It doesn't always have to be astronomically. It just needs to be a great screen, waiting on a screen, getting our hands high, our communication. And then, it would help if we can get a bucket. It'd help if we can get a rebound. It'll help if we can get a steal, a loose ball, hustle play. So I think it has to be by committee. It has to be better. And when it's better, we're better.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank y'all. Roll Tide.